You ever showed up to the job site unprepared? Have you ever been around your house and your gear wasn't ready? Have you ever realized, damn, my ducks ain't in a row? Well, you're watching the right video, cuz today we're talking about Softwash Prep and what your boy Kyle McGuire does. That's me, to ensure that I'm efficient, I'm professional, and when I get to the job site, let's face it, I'm ready to make that money. Peace.
Perfect.
All right, so what do I start with first? Normally, the night before, which I've already done last night, I start charging my batteries. That is imperative for me. I have 2 independent Softwash systems and they rely on 12-volt batteries. So I utilize a DeWalt battery charger. I set them up and I ensure that they got juice. That way tomorrow, I'm spraying and not praying. All right, praying for a miracle. I ensure that they're topped off, and I start transferring chemicals. I'll show you my setup right now. Batteries are already topped off and I've already started transferring chemicals last night. I got about 70 gallons of SH in the truck. More than enough to do what I gotta do, so let's take a look. All right, y'all, so in my charging box where my 12-volt batteries are, I'll charge it the night before, like I said a minute ago, with this DeWalt charger. Get those things topped off. The night before, I also like to ensure that my surfactant tank is topped off. I've already transferred over with a Ryobi transfer pump, some SH, and I have my water tank topped off, which this one is. The other one at the moment, you can probably hear it's filling up. And basically I just do a walk around of the rig. I ensure that all of my reels are secure, where they ain't gonna go nowhere. I see that I don't have any leaks on the equipment or anything. I ensure that I have gasoline for the pressure washer, which it's already topped off. And I have a additional tank on the rig that one's topped off as well. And basically that's it for the main rig. Then I'll go to some of my pump up sprayers if I need to use them for the day. So whenever I check the main rig out, I'll come over here to one of my chemical racks. I'll do a whole nother video on that. I'll ensure that I've added my, well, I'll talk about some of them. I'll make sure that I added my Flora mask, which is green apple. This stuff is expensive. It's freaking 90 bucks for a gallon of it, but it kills that SH smell. And I've had so many people talk to me about that. I just like to avoid the conversations entirely. I like to add that apple smell. That way bleach doesn't even come up. I'll make sure that I have some pump up sprayers topped off if I know that I'm going to be using them. These are a couple chemicals I use. I use Double Eagle. I love all the F9 products. They work great. Double Eagle as my degreaser. I use F9 for my F-Low. If you got bricks with that efflorescence and calcium coming out, use that product. I use bark a lot. I use this stuff a lot. It is amazing for cleaning up your concrete. This stuff is killer right here. I'll always ensure that I have a bottle of this on the truck. All you have to do, it's LA Totally Awesome. After you've cleaned up the gutters and stuff like that with SH, if you still have some of that oxidation going on, spray this on a scrub brush, just directly on a scrub brush. Put some elbow grease in, and that oxidation comes right off. So I'll make sure I have one of these, and yeah, got some SH down there, some surfactant. I'll make a whole lineup video where I have a bunch of other products that I have, but I've ran out of 3 of them, so that's that. All right, everybody, that's enough of the chemicals. The equipment, the chemicals, that's just half of it, right? So after you've taken the time to make sure your batteries are topped off, your equipment is gonna work and function as it's supposed to, then you gotta look at things in your vehicle that you might need to get you through the day, to get you through multiple jobs without being like, oh shucks, I forgot something, or looking like, you know, you ain't got your ducks in a row. You gotta be prepared. So things I like to keep in the truck are several things. I like to keep PPE in the truck, right? So PPE is personal protective equipment, my bad. So sunblock, polarized glasses. I wear these. It keeps that house wash out of your face, out of your eyes. But also polarized glasses will help you see that gliocapsomagma on the roof. It will help you see that algae and mildew a little bit easier if the sun's in your eyes, better than wearing some cheap glasses. So sunblock, glasses. I like to keep a change of clothes. Who knows if it's windy or getting overspray on you. You got estimates to do after the house wash. I always keep a set of dry clothes in the truck. What else? Marketing items. You always have to have some marketing items in your truck. If you're not, you're slipping. So marketing items for me, like nothing is worse than being in an area where you see that perfect house that you want to wash. You know, it's an easy job, but it's gonna pay, and not having a business card or a flyer. So me personally, I will bring flyers. I will bring some clip flyers, business cards. I also keep yard signs in my truck, because if a certain job takes you out to a certain part of town that you normally don't go out there, you want to be prepared. You want to get that exposure. You want to have the opportunity to put a sign up where people can see it in an area where you normally don't advertise. So I'll show you a couple examples. So right there is some small yard signs. That's like the 12 by 18, I think. Those just say roof cleaning. It's got my phone number on it. I also keep just my basic house wash signs with my phone number. That's a little bit larger of a sign. I tend to do better with those. I've gotten quite a bit of calls off of signs. I made a whole video on sign tactics, so check that thing out if you want to learn some tactics for your yard signs. I used to use those a lot back in the day when I lived at the coast. So other marketed items, let me spin this around. Besides yard signs, I'm only gonna show you one side of these because I got some cool things going on the other side that I just don't want people seeing. So awesome artwork here. Super happy with the company that did this. My color scheme, everything goes good with my logo. But bam, this is a really nice card that I use for if I'm in a neighborhood, I just knocked out a house, I could go door to door, door knocking, where I actually talk to them and hand them that thing and try to upsell my services. This is my door hangers. Won't show you the back once again. I want to keep that a secret, but it's always important after you wash a property, go out and pepper that neighborhood a little bit with those door hangers. All right, so now that we talked about some marketing items that I think are imperative to have on your truck, easily accessible, let's talk about two more things. One is gonna be very important, more so important whenever it heats up than it is now, but I like to keep a little cooler in the truck. It's got waters, it's got an energy drink, a soda. That way I could stay hydrated in the summertime. That is so important. You do not want to be a heat casualty, especially if you're out there by yourself, lean and mean like myself. Big shout out to AA Ron, what up dog? Last but not least is troubleshooting, right? So yeah, your equipment works fine in the shop, right? Or even if you don't have a shop, it works fine before you go out to the job. But what about if something breaks? Build in redundancies with your business. I do it. And also bring in those easy items to have that are gonna freaking make your life easier if something breaks. If you pop a fuse, you're gonna wanna have extras. If you bust a hose, you're gonna wanna have an extra. If you need to get to the spigot at the person's house and it's so freaking old and it's basically welded on there, bring a tool, bring some vice grips or something like that to get that thing off of there, or channel locks. Be prepared. Have that troubleshooting equipment, some tape, all that stuff. It's gonna make your life hella easier out there when things go wrong. It's all about prepping. You have to be prepped. I hope that this video is helped out. Let's talk about the last thing I grab out of my house, my electronics, and we'll go do a house wash. I'll bring you along with me, but it's gonna be a busy day and it's time to roll. Let's go. All right, fellas, one of the last things your boy does before he rolls out of the driveway is I grab my electronics. I keep them in a centralized area in the house. I normally have a charging dock right here where I charge all of my stuff at the same time, but I'm using it right now for my photography stuff. This has been charged last night, so it's all juiced up. So let me step through it with you. I use these beats every day, whether I'm watching or listening to music videos, listening to some of the other like Softwash pressure washing guys on YouTube. I listen to these. I'm gonna use them on the job today. I use Clover. This thing is amazing. Not only can I swipe cards with it, but I can insert cards for the chip. It has the tap and go where you don't even have to insert a credit or debit card. I could take Samsung Pay, Apple Pay, any type of pay you think of, this thing takes. So make sure it's charged up. Very important. Use my MacBook. Do I need it today for house washes? No, but afterwards I'm planning on doing some advertisements. I'm planning on making some content, so I'm gonna use this thing. One of my favorite items is this iPad. Keep this thing in the truck, whether I'm using it for GPS or I'm putting things into my CRM. or I'm doing door-to-door marketing. I show before and after pictures. This thing comes in clutch in my vehicle, so use that every day. And then my business phone. I'm filming on my personal phone, but I use this to manage all my company's calls. I use it to take before and after pictures before I wash someone's house. All of these things are my need-to-have items, and it's crucial. It is imperative that you charge these things before you roll out. I'm about to scoop these things up, and we're about to hit the road. Peace. What's the deal, everybody? Just got done with this house wash, just like we were talking about before, taking the time to make sure you got all your gear together, make sure you got all your chemicals, everything's topped off, batteries charged. It pays off. Just washed this house behind me. About to go do another house wash. We're rolling. Before I leave, I'll do a walk around and show you the house that I just did. All right, thanks. All right, pretty good size house. Cleaned up really nice, all vinyl. Not many plants on the house. Got some big plants right here. I pre-soaked really good because, you know, I had to get these soffits. They were horrible. They were all black and dirty, so there's a lot of SH falling down on them. So I soaked them down real good before I left. But this house was covered, especially this house, or this side of the house. This is the north side. The siding, the fascia, the soffits, everything was covered. Now it looks brand new, cleaned up really nice. The owner of this house is actually in Texas. I don't know what type of work he does, but gave my wife a call who's deployed, who's been marketing for me. Reached out to her, explained everything. So he's gonna be paying over the phone after I send him these before and after pictures. But house cleaned up really well. This side of the house was actually really dirty too. They have a lot of trees. It's a heavily wooded lot, so they're just not getting enough sunlight. House is getting really dirty, but they're clean now. All right, on to the next one. All right, guys, I hope that this helped. By no means am I a coach, or I don't claim to be. I saw a funny comment the other day where someone was like, there's just as many coaches as there are washers. And yeah, it does seem that way. So throwing it out there, I don't think I'm a coach, just out here sharing some content. Hopefully it helps some of the newer guys. Similar content helped me. But let's talk about one thing before I get off of here, and it is very important. I've just told y'all a couple of my processes. If that helped you, you have to capture it, right? You have to capture it, or to implement it, you have to capture it. So don't let this go in one ear and out the other. It all falls back on your systems. What I like to do is, on my shop, on the inside of the shop, before I walk out, I have a couple documents up there, check boxes essentially. And all the stuff that I do to prep for going out and washing houses or going out there and doing commercial property is on that checklist. I encourage you to have a similar system where you work through that, step through that process, and make sure that you are prepared. It's all about prepping. So I hope that you take something from that, implement a system that's gonna set you up for success in the future. As always, God bless everybody. I hope y'all are doing good. I'm out here grinding. You know the whole deal with my channel. It's me juggling this business while I work a full-time job. I'm trying to be the captain of my own ship. Shout out to Bobby. I'm trying to take control and do this full time, but to do it, I got to do it correctly, and I got to grow. So that's what it's all about. My day-to-day grind. That's what the channel is about. If you want, smash that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.